What's up, guys? Got about half mile to go on this ruck. And for those who care, it'll be 3 miles with 70 pounds. So, anyways, but yeah, that doesn't really matter. What matters is that I woke up this morning and elected to do something hard. You got to choose your hard, y'all. Because when hard chooses you out of the blue and knocks you off your feet, it's real hard to get back up again. It's really hard to cope with the loss of family member or a financial crisis or your own health. So taking it upon yourself to elect to do something hard is what it's going to take to get your, to toughen your mind and make it to where you can be more resilient, because it's not just for you, it's for those you care about. So I have went on this walk here and just been thinking a good deal about some things. And one of those things is how we just overcomplicate stuff so much with either too much information, but more often than not, it's too much of the wrong information. And just making things harder than it needs to be. I know someone who teaches a nutrition class, and when he mentioned bringing a calculator so you can start to add and subtract your caloric needs, I immediately thought, I'm out, dude. If I need a calculator to regulate my intake, that's way too complicated. The most complicated things ever need to get is a piece of paper and a pencil, and you just write down what you're putting in your mouth. And that will force you to think about what you're putting in your mouth. Ran into a buddy of mine, and he was in the halfway through a cannoli. I love cannolis. I've eaten a lot of them, but I haven't in a while. Anyways, so he's pounding down this cannoli, and the buttons on his shirt are straining. I didn't say anything, but he could tell. Somehow my facial expression shows what I'm thinking. Anyways, he said, "Hey man, don't judge me." I said, "Brother, I'm not judging you." I said, I hope you're enjoying that, because it looks delicious. And he said, "Well, it's the only 300 calorie thing I'm going to eat today." And I'm thinking, yeah, but those are 300 calories that's going straight into your bloodstream and spiking your blood sugar and driving up your insulin. And it's going to have all your cells screaming because there's no more room for that extra sugar that's in your bloodstream. And the only answer is to convert it to fat. And where's that fat going to go? Right in, anywhere that your body can squeeze it in. And I hate to say it, but he's storing a lot of fat around his abdomen, which means intestinal fat, and most likely his liver. I know, because I was there several years ago. My midsection, I was stretching the limits of a 38-inch waist pant, and so I know, and it breaks my heart. And I ask myself, did I just do him a disservice by not just saying, hey brother, you're not just fat, you're obese, you're sick, and you're fighting a losing battle so long as you keep giving in to that stuff. Well, anyways, I'm hoping that instead I can just be a good example, live a healthy testimony, and when he is ready to hear honest truth, I can give it to him. But if I just call him out and say, hey man, you're fat and you're sick, and if you don't change your ways right now, you're going to die sooner than you should, well, then he might not be my friend anymore, you know. So anyways, back to nutritionists and dietitians. I know of another one who is really popular in the first responder world. She does talks at conferences and stuff, and she openly doesn't just say that she talks about healthy eating. No, her presentation is all about healthy-ish, meaning it's not healthy. She gives allowances for freaking candy and soft drinks. And folks, if you hear someone who calls themselves a health coach, dietitian, nutritionist, or whatever you want to call it, and they're saying that there's room for that stuff in your regular diet, run. Forget everything else they said. So I'm not going to name this person, but I'm just saying, when you hear it, you'll know it, because it's absolutely ridiculous. Well, looks like the neighbors are stirred up and let me know that they know that I'm walking down the road. So anyways, y'all take care of yourselves. Do something hard. And if that hard just means you're not going to eat a biscuit with gravy, make it so, but don't replace it with a cannoli. All right, y'all take care.